Hi, my name's Phil. I like talking about politics, and in this week's budget, Chancellor Rishi Sunak has implemented tax cuts for households, at any rate, as opposed to the necessary rises for some of us, but also warned that those rises are coming and coming big. In this video, I'd like to point out just how genuinely stupid it is to think of tax cuts as being something to vote for or tax rises as something to vote against. But first, if you'd like to be notified of daily news and politics, please subscribe to the channel and click the bell notification icon. So the budget was announced, and I dutifully did what I did every year. I ran my details through the budget calculator to see how it affects me. Turns out I get a tax cut. Not impressed. I'm earning enough to be paying more in taxes. The amount of tax cuts makes no difference whatsoever to me. It won't affect my spending. It won't affect my saving. But when I had nothing, that would have been like a windfall. Yes, I can donate the money if I don't want it, as I would have regardless of this tax cut. But many people won't. That's why we need the government to distribute the wealth of the country more fairly. There will still be those who have a lot. There will still be those with relatively little. But those with a lot will still have a lot if the government take from them enough to make sure that at least nobody has nothing. Take this cracking example from America. Someone bleating that Jeff Bezos would have to pay $5.7 billion in taxes for last year under the plans of some Democrats, including Bernie Sanders, for the so-called ultra-millionaire tax. Now, someone else pointed out that he'd still be left with $185 billion to his name. But I would add something else into the mix, something that I think is more relevant. Never mind his total worth, we're talking about taxes on earnings here. This is 2020 we're talking about. He made a reported $74 billion in 2020. His net worth went up by $74 billion. This tax would mean he pays $5.7 billion according to that newspaper. That is a tax rate of 7.7%. 7.7%. Are you kidding me? People on the average wage in the UK of $38,600. Now, it's very different. Can tend to be lower tax in America, I gather, but I don't know how to work it out there. In the UK, if you've got the median average of £38,600 a year, you would pay £8,710 in income tax and national insurance. That's this year, not going on to the following tax year. That is a tax rate of 22.6%. And don't imagine that Bezos is paying the same rate as his own workers and some Democrats wanting to pay an extra 7.7%. Adding that 7.7% onto what he already pays in taxes, according to reports, would still not see him even paying double figures as a percentage. The outrage here should not be that some socialists in America want Bezos to stump up 7.7% of his income in this proposed new tax, which could go to a lot of good. It should be that he is not paying the same rate as ordinary struggling members of the workforce who could do with more money. We have a society where those who can afford to pay the most actually pay the least. My taxes should have gone up. And like I said, don't bother with brainless comments about, well, donate your excess then. What I donate, I hope makes a difference to someone. But the purpose of taxes is to make a difference to everyone. When the tax cuts represent an amount of money that could be easily swallowed up in one of Rishi Sunak's eat out to help out restaurant trips, it's not a saving that should be convincing anyone to vote for anyone. If you can have your vote bought for the price of a meal you can very well afford regardless, you're more than just selfish, you're actually an idiot. And I'm not normally this objectionable about having certain views, but this is just stupid. Do you remember? You may not remember. I remember this. In the run-up to the 2019 general election, there was the various studio events. There was something at the BBC. Some guy in a studio belly aching about all the extra tax he'd have to pay if Jeremy Corbyn became Prime Minister. Turned out it was on £80,000 a year and would have basically paid an extra £5. I think it was actually less than a £5. It was pathetic. The tax rises in Labour's proposals weren't for those on even double the national average wage. It was for those earning silly money. So let's say that chap is still on £80,000 a year. Let's imagine his choice of vote, his choice of government, hasn't cost him his job yet. Let's also imagine he has a couple of kids, the budget this week means he'd save, I'm assuming, let's say he's married but his partner's not working, you know, we'll make it, we'll put him in as difficult a situation as possible in terms of expenses. He'd be saving £50 in taxes over the year. Well, he should be delighted with that. A saving of 10 times the extra amount Corbyn wanted from him, £50. That's just over £4 a month. For someone whose take home is about £4,600 a month, £4. What's he going to do with that? Oh, I can get that new car now. Can you? No. You can either get it or you can't. If you can get it, you could have got it without the £4 a month. If you couldn't get it before, the £4 a month ain't going to do it. Luxury holiday? No. It's nothing. But it could be very important to someone with nothing. So why would a tax cut be a vote winner? How dumb do you have to be to sell your vote for so little? Anyone taking home, this is after taxes, £4,600 a month, that's delighted with an extra £4 is objectively an idiot. Convince me otherwise, I challenge you, because that's the reality of tax cuts. They are worthless. People think through this process, don't they? Oh, a tax cut, that means I'll have more money. Oh, if I have more money, I can buy more things, or I can save more for the future. I could retire a bit earlier. £4 a pissing week. What is someone with over £4,500 making its way into the bank account every month going to do differently with an extra £4? Nothing. That's what. Idiots. But that £4 in the pocket of someone with nothing makes a difference. That's food for someone who can't afford to eat every day. What it is for that worthless sponge on £80,000 a year is shrapnel in his pocket. If anything, if it's anything to him, it's an annoyance. The Conservatives are buying his vote for an amount of money that would barely pay for a packet of peanuts a week. But that's not how the media portray it, is it? And so the con works. Looked at the front page of yesterday's papers in the UK. The Telegraph, not happy with the tax rises coming, set to come in the future, throwing a right wobbly. Figures all over the thing to make it sound like a massive cash grab. The figures are just as worthless as the tax cut we've had. The quote in the statement that it will mean the highest tax burden for generations. Oh, that, by the way, means higher than under Labour, by the way. But it's still a pathetic amount. The Telegraph, in order to boost the figures, had to work out those figures over 5 years to get them to even approach a sum that people would look at and go, oh, it's over 5 years. And even then, it was just nothing. Tax cuts and tax rises are always negligible for those with even a reasonable income. No government halves your tax burden. No government doubles your tax burden. It's usually not even a whole % difference. Nowhere near, in fact. The only people who fear taxes, the only people for whom it does make a difference to their taxes, Labour or Conservatives, are those who are seriously wealthy. The sort of seriously wealthy people who, if they didn't earn another penny for the rest of their lives, could still live a life of luxury. Let them bleat about taxes. There's not enough of them to make a difference at the ballot box. But for goodness sake, can we not have ordinary people who suffer no ill effects from taxation, only gaining, making it an issue worth wasting your vote over? Because that is one of the dumbest things I have to think about. And I'm a political commentator in the UK. I have to think about a lot of dumb things. But those are my thoughts. Let me know yours in the comments below. I hope you found the video interesting. If you did, don't forget to click the like button. And if you'd like to support the channel further, please also click the Patreon link for details. And until next time, I'll see you later.